We're doing it, folks. Welcome back. The Matty Chymbor podcast. This is the most epic podcast of all the podcasts. I don't care which ones you listen to, whether it's murder, erotica. I don't know if they even have those. That'd be pretty hot. Fucking Joe, all these people. No, this is literally the best podcast. We're about to break records. This is going to be the longest podcast ever recorded in history, so I hope you're ready to just dig in for a fucking week. I'm going to literally just go until I pass away. It's called My Life Podcast, and you just watch me talk here until I age and stop eating. This is good to be back. Speaking of eating, I just had some just beautiful cherries, just ripe. I love cherry. Cherries are just a good food. I respect food, and I think this is why, aside from them tasting good, I respect a food that has like the pit in it and you got to work around it. That's a food that's like, you're on my time, all right? I don't think you're, I'm not blueberries. I'm not a banana. I'm not, I'm not some slut fruit you're going to run through at ease. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in work. You got to be conscious when you're eating cherries, or you're going to get bit back by that pit. I love a good fucking pit. I wish we had pits. Just like a fucking disgusting pit in us. And then when people die, they just take the pit out and bury it and grow more people. My pit is hanging out. How come we call it armpit, but then we call them like a pit of an apple, which means like the hard core? What is that? Is that not the opposite of the armpit? Armpit's like an area in a, maybe that's the term. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding English. I'm at the age where it's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm capping my spelling. I'm not capping it, but I'm 33, going to be 34 in probably 6 months. I don't know. I haven't decided when I want to be 34. I'm like a cherry of aging. You're on my day. I've capped the spelling, I'm no more learning new words. I'm done. I got it. I'm not trying to be conceited, but I fucking got it. I don't need to, read a thesaurus. If you're the person who just like insists on learning new vocabulary just to use in the real world, you're like, well, you're a piece of shit. You know what? It's like no one's shocked. They act like these other words for words we already know, like, make a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're learning words and you're having conversations I cannot be a part of with my repertoire of words. Like, you're not doing anything different. You're just doing like an alternate route. It's like I'm on this road. You're on this other parallel road that might look a little more fancy. But guess what? We're getting to the same point. I don't need your, superfluous ass. I'm sorry, when I'm talking to people and they use certain words that are just like clearly, it's not even that I think they're above their vocabulary, but I think we can all agree there's words out there that you just read in books. Nobody says out fucking loud, all right? Like if I'm talking to somebody and they casually drop the word righteous, I'm like, what are you, a fucking disciple? Like, righteous? Get the fuck out of here. Say the other word for that I would like, that wouldn't make this conversation immediately awkward. Fucking righteous? Okay. It annoys me. It's almost like them, maybe not the right, I just can't. It takes me out. It's kind of like them trying to just do a little flex mid-combo. You're like, we're talking. Did I say something that just pushed you back where you feel the need to now just fucking drop some vocab bombs on me? Because I'm kind of not liking it. who, like at the beginning of time, like when they were coming up with words, how did that fucking happen? Where they're like, yeah, we have a word. It means, this. And somebody goes, I'm going to make another word for that. And they're like, why? Because I want another fucking word for it. They're like, we have plenty. The fuck are you doing? I'm going to make a bunch of words that mean the same shit for the same thing. And that was the day fucking nerds were born. You bitch. You dumb bitch nerd. I want to fucking just bully the shit out of somebody right now. Society as a whole right now needs to just get smacked. Between people not understanding the protests, between people not, all these dudes being creepy to women. Y'all need to get fucking bullied. I feel like we need to, remember I Am Legend where they repurposed a disease or virus for... Sorry, I don't want to get bubbles in the corner of my mouth. I can't focus when somebody has just spit dancing. You ever talk to somebody, they just have spit hanging out on the corner of their mouth, like, what's going on out there? It's just like this. Someone's like, so anyways, the doctor said I need to really focus on my cholesterol, and the spit's just like, hey. Did someone say cholesterol? What's that? Is that food? I can eat. I can eat. That's the best. I'm fat, but don't want to admit it. Statement. Who's hungry? I can eat. Oh, we know you can. You fucking whale. The bullying thing we'll come back to. I don't know. I'm just done spelling too. Yeah. I'm gonna spell it how I think it should be. I think I'm 80% close to. 80% accurate to, the way it should be spelled. And like handwriting, I've realized, there's errors. And guess what? This eraser is not getting used. I'm done crossing things out to rewrite it. You know what I mean, all right? Let's not pretend like you don't understand things. Like, you ever text somebody and you just have one misspelled word and they reply back with that and you're like, you know what I mean, bitch? The fuck you trying to what are you doing? Until the day I write a word by hand and there's a red squiggly line that shows up under it, Danny's not changing a fucking thing. What if that was why other words came about? Because they're like, that's where you respect. They're like, we have a word for fucking, Matt, can you give an example, you idiot? No. I want you to fill in the blanks, people. This is a choose your own ending podcast. It's called Create Your Own Story. I'm just saying the foundation, and you guys plug in which word is resonating with you, where it has a double meaning. And that'd be funny. They didn't do it to be pretentious. They're like, yeah, I can't remember what that's supposed to be, so I'm just gonna fucking make a new one. And then people are just like, I like that. See how you play devil's advocate with these stories. Just want to club some shit. God damn it, I feel like I'm just drooling out of the corner of my mouth. I'd be lying if I said I recorded a podcast yesterday and there was spit on the corner of my mouth and I did not use it. That's on my Patreon. You guys want to see sneak or bonus eps? You're going to get some bonus episodes where bodily fluids just kind of fuck it up for me. She likes me for me. I'm just a fucking pit boy, baby. Just a pit boy. I did take a couple weeks off from doing the podcast, which I apologize. I moved apartments. Big deal in my life, all right? I went from... This is a huge deal, all right? I'm gonna break it down for you simpleton that live in houses and don't live in cities. City life, I feel like, just knocks you down. And I appreciate this. It makes you very appreciative. Ooh, is that a big word? No. It's a long word. I went from a studio. I have a one-bedroom now. Your boy is a hallway. Oh, I have a room for walking. Okay, stacks. Just stacking cash. I walked in with the realtor, aka the building manager. I'd like a room where I can just walk to like. What do you mean? Like I want a room that gets me from one room to the other. To like a hallway. If you call it that. To like it's a 1-bedroom. There's a hallway right there. Deal. To like. I don't make deals. You asked me to show you the place. Go to the fucking property management office. Fill out application. Is that the realtor? There's no realtors in apartments. You fucking. I guess there could be. Went from a studio to a 1-bedroom, and let me tell you, the luxury of laying on my couch and not seeing my bed is it's pretty nice. I feel like my bed and my couch are like, what the fuck you do with them? My couch is like, where's the bed? What you doing? Or he thinks he got upgraded. He's like, fuck that piece of shit bed. I have this disease. I have fucking Beauty and the Beast disease where I give like life to things in my apartment. I feel like that's why I don't mind the quarantine. I'm just like, everything's like fucking, I'm a bookshelf. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like I generally was like, I wonder if my couch misses seeing my bed and vice versa. And then I'm like, you're crazy. That's psychotic, but it's like fun. It's like a Disney disease. I have Disney disease. What's that? It's when I give personalities to inanimate objects throughout my apartment, and then we just live a life. Yeah, I was talking to my bookshelf the other day, and it's pretty pissed off at my lamp. Why? They got some beef. I don't know. They feel like I'm using one more than the other. It's kind of a lot of shit, but that's what I realized during quarantine is my reflection stopped being my reflection and just became a person I talk to. We all have this weird relationship with our reflections. Let's be perfectly honest. And if you're lying right now, or if you're saying no, you're lying. Let's check my mouth. We're good. All right. I'm done with, I'm self-conscious about that. I don't need to be drooling on episode 50, baby. This is 50. Those people. So what were you saying? No, the people I fucking hate are people when they drink water bottles, they crunch the bottle. You're like, just fucking pour it. What are you doing? Why are you crunching the bottle? What's it not come out? Just gravity not fast enough for you? Sorry, I just like to relive memories of getting sprayed in the mouth with a fucking hose. People don't crunch the bottle. I think people like just do weird shit when they eat. I used to yell at my friend because when we'd eat Taco Bell together, at the end, all the spillings fill out. Whether you eat them or not, that's not the issue. He would just like crunch it up so like he wasn't wrapping it. Bitch. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm throwing my shit away. I go, you fucking animal. He's just like crumpling it up so like some spilling out, some's caught. I'm like, just that. Can you be more of just like a disgusting piece of shit right now? And they think I'm weird. I'm like, no, not weird. You're weird. I'm not weird. You win. Is it offensive to do the deaf accent? This'll get me in trouble one day. I'm not weird. You win. It's no disrespect. Fucking Christ. Love me a good deaf. I would do that. Know who I hate? Know what I fucking can't stand is when people hold their fork like animals and they eat. When I hold my fork, it's like this. You hold it like this. When people do this, don't with the thumb. Don't hold a fork like that. You just like remind me of like Charlie and his Chocolate Factory family, just when they're like, Can you be civilized? We know finances are not tough, but guess what? Guess what's free? Guess what's free, Grandpa Joe? Not holding your fucking your spoon like this. This is like you grabbed it so fast you don't even know what to do. Your thumb, you're like, people, be polite. Boop. Do this. We'll hold it with some delicacy, please. He's fucking eating his lettuce soup. Hey, Joe, we know you're in bed all day. Maybe fucking hold the spoon a little as I'm holding the mic like this. What a piece of shit. You should hold it like this. I don't know. I just pick up on things. Speaking of etiquette, one thing I thought of was, I don't know what was the Great Expectations. You remember that book with Miss Havisham? Miss Havisham, what the fuck book was that? I just remember watching the Miss Havisham, Charles Dickens, Great Expectations, yeah. She's a wealthy spinster, once jilted at the altar. Okay, that sentence didn't have to happen. I think we can all agree. She's a wealthy spinster. What the fuck is a spinster? See, this is what happens, big words. Now you got me going, spinster. We're learning stuff. An unmarried woman, typically an older woman beyond the usual age for marriage. Oh, she's like a lot of our aunts. A spinster has her friend living with her, who's her roommate, and her name is Chris, and they met playing softball. What do you call a male spinster? A fucking loser. What a pussy. The term originally devoted to a woman whose occupation was see, that's what I'm saying. This shit's changing. Hey, Miss Havisham, you're not a spinster. You're a scissorer. Oh, fuck. I owe somebody. I remember in that book, though, they were saying when I think the kid went to, like, learn etiquette from her or some shit. I don't know. But they were saying you don't bring your face to the bowl. You bring the spoon to your mouth. You ever have little things sit like that where you're like, am I medieval as fuck right now? Am I a Renaissance man because I eat like the Great Expectations spinster recommended? Like, was that said to people out? That's a word. That's a fucking word, spinster. Was that said to older women when they were like walking down the street like, where's your husband? I don't have one. You fucking spin. Oh, God. Fucking. I don't think this is funny for you guys, but I like it. Oh, my God. She's just old. Some fucking little punk-ass kids. Where's your husband? I got one. You fucking spinster. I'm not spinning. She's all. I'm not spinning yet. No, you're spinning. It turns into a Seinfeld episode. I'm not spinning. All right, I'm still. I just haven't found him yet. Whatever, you're spinning. You fucking spinster. See, that's what I'm saying. This fucking. What is texting me? Oh, if this is stopping. It's not right. Okay, good. Sorry. Sometimes when people text me, it stops a recording, and I murder them. So I don't know. Just be normal people. Do weird shit in your house. I get it, but it's like when you're around people, just fucking, do something. Get it together. Let's not act like, when I'm out here, I'm not fucking eating in a goddamn corset, with a violin music playing. I'll get a little nasty here and there, but it's like when you're around people and the crumpling shit falling, you're like, can you present yourself somewhat better, you animal? That's like this. I don't fucking know. People don't give a shit. People suck. People are just trash. I don't know. I got on this because of my apartment stuff. I moved, though. I have a fucking living room now. Your boy's I got a living room. I have a desk area. I got a plant. It's great. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Cities. We appreciate, you don't realize, like, when you move out here and it's a shitty, expensive city, and it's not me bragging, it sucks. When you're 30-something, you have fucking roommates. I finally live alone. You know the luxury of that in a goddamn city? It's weird. We live in a place with millions of people, and our goal is to just be alone in our apartment. You don't need fucking roommates. All these weird pieces of shit you gotta live with. No, I'm good. They're not weird, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I want to be by myself. I don't want to fucking come home and have to hear why the dishes aren't done because they're soaking. I eat food and they're soaking, so it breaks up the. It's like, it's not. If you cleaned it when you should have, there's nothing to soak. You know, we've all had roommates. What are you, collecting rain? What the hell is this? My dishes are soaking. Are their muscles tight? What do you mean soaking? Do they, well, I made sauce and it dried up and now I'm letting the water soak. No, bitch, you're buying time. Okay, let's be perfectly honest. You soakers out there need to stop the bullshit. I feel it in the corners. You soakers. Do your dishes, okay? No one's soaking is literally the biggest hoax in house cleaning that there can be, and I see through your bullshit. You're not soaking because there's gunk that needs to be now re-waterlogged. What is the term I'm looking for? Rehydrate. Yeah, the sauce on the dish got dried out, so now I got to put water in there so it rehydrates it so I can wipe it off easier. Why'd it dry in the first place? Because you're cleaning it 3 days later? You disgusting fuck. That's why I don't live with people. It's not this interactions. Living alone, you do get pretty bored, I'll be perfectly honest. It gets boring as shit. And I notice the bigger the place, the more bored I am. In a studio, I got my inanimate objects friends are all spread out now. I got to go, after this, I'm going to go visit my bed. Got to go visit my bed and hang out. When the smaller the apartment, the more you feel like you have things around you, so you feel less alone. But it's just me bragging like my apartment's big. It's not big. I can assure you guys. It's literally the same exact apartment I had, except this door right here, that way behind you is identically the same. It's just I have a bedroom now, and that's my bathroom. Yeah, I got a bedroom. I'd like a room. It's funny, like just the requests to tell. I like a room where I just sleep in. Like a bedroom. Is that a thing? I'm just such a studio boy. I had a studio apartment when I moved out here for 3 years. Then lived with people for a couple years, so I, got the roommate thing. And then I moved back here, had another studio for 3 years. So this is my first one bedroom, and I feel like an adult man, and God, I do math where I'm like, God, my parents are like, first off, my father had me when he was 29, which I'm like, all right, I'm already past that. I don't really talk to him. I don't know him that well, but I was just, not that I give a fuck, but I was just doing the math of like, in my head, and you hear older people, like, they're always like, I don't feel my age. That's a problem, I think, where I'm starting to, I don't feel my age, so I don't feel pressure to get married or have kids. And I think that might be because I live in a city. Like, when you live in a city, that's not, those like guidelines aren't a thing anymore. I feel like it's such a hometown pressure to put on somebody. Like when if I was home right now and all my friends were getting married and having kids, it would inevitably become like the FOMO where you're like, oh, I got to do that now. And you trick your brain, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, out here I'm just like, that sounds terrible. Girlfriend, yeah, that's different, but it's like to get married, you're like, oh my God. And then have kids. I was taking a piss the other day and I was like, when am I going to have kids? Am I going to have kids? What age am I going to be? Is it selfish to not have kids? What is the rules? I don't know the fucking rule. I'm going by the rules in my head, and I'm going to say no, it's not. I'd like to have them. I don't want to. But then I think about, like, it's weird how a lot of my thoughts about having children are, like, for my mom to be a grandmother again. She's already a grandmother, but it's for, like, sometimes it's reasons that have nothing to do with me. And I'm just like, that's a lot of things where you're like, I don't fucking know. Do I want a fucking kid? I don't. In my head, if you have a child, let's get to the funny shit. Not even that, but it's like, in my head, you have a kid and then you just stop doing the stuff you want to do. There, I said it. I think we all have that thought, and I think it's true. But it's different when you live at home because you're in your little community, but it's like, dude, have a kid in a city. I just got a fucking one bedroom. I just lived alone. I'm alone for once. Can I just be alone for a fucking couple years? I'm going to have a kid when I'm like 50, and then I'm just a 60-year-old dad when he's 10, and I'm meeting fucking 28-year-old kids who had that. That's hilarious. I don't know. Shaking on baby, now backing on baby. People, if you're gonna have a fucking wedding, can you just like stop and look at other weddings and not just copy everybody else? What's a wedding song? Let's think. What's these songs that wedding songs? It's funny, all these comics, though, who, like, talk shit about getting married. See, I'm not talking shit about it. Would I like to get married? Of course. I want to get married. I'd love to have kids. I just haven't met the person. Let's talk about that because I'm just stubborn and I don't want to fucking marry somebody. I think because my parents got divorced, I'm not trying to marry somebody and then be like, oh, yeah, saw that coming. I ignored that red flag. I'm trying to make, let it be in time. But then all these, like, comics who are like, fuck marriage, fuck kids. It's just like they all turn, like, 45 or 40, and they're, like, completely just popping out kids. And you're like, oh, that's funny. What song is this? Oh, dude. Give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Chymbor. What day is it? Mr. Chymbor. You doing okay? You look like you're crying pretty hard. I'm fine. You sure you need a tissue? Wife is just fine, regretting marrying me. Imagine me sobbing during the song, and my future wife is not. Of those wedding pictures where the guy is just fucking bawling as his bride comes down the aisle and he's the only one not keeping it together, and you're just like, you fucking pussy. That's when my bullying comes back. Someone's like, no. Dude, this is just wedding town. What's that Bruno Mars fucking wedding bullshit? Oh, the Marry You song. You're like, dude, are you just cleaning up in the marriage department? Get the fuck out of here. You're fucking Bruno Mars, Marry Me. What is it? I think I'm gonna marry you. See, I'm curious to go to like a wedding. Although my cousin's wedding was it was definitely more new age. Like they came out to like, I think like chain smokers or some shit, which I was like, that's fucking cool. It's better than coming out to fucking It's Electric. Boogie, boogie, boogie. You got that beep, beep. Let's go back to some wedding bangers. Every wedding, they're like, I just get fucked up. Going to a wedding for a friend is 1,000 times better than going for like a family member. Like, I don't know if that's just me. Not that the family weddings aren't fun, but it's like to go to a wedding where you don't know, you have like a couple friends, you have friends there, and then you're just molesting the free bar. You're like, yep, I'm going to get bird drunk. What's this song? I'm sorry, but if you have a fucking wedding and you walked behind and you saw your DJ playing this playlist, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to pay you. What do you mean? God, I went to one wedding and the DJ was fucking... This is like the shit you don't think of. I'm very quality control, as you know, how I hold things, how I do stuff. It's very, I put thought into stuff. Dude, this fucking wedding DJ, when I tell you it was so bad, it was so fucking bad. Like, first off, they were like, during like the, what's the part with the aisle and the fucking, do you take, what is that, the ceremony? I don't fucking know. It was the fucking I do part. What do you call that thing? It's very easy to sound dumb. It's fucking, the part where you get the family on those. Dude was playing like music from so far away, it didn't even look like he was like a part of our group. And I was just like, you can't even hear it. And it was just muffled music. This kid's like, you can tell they got into the wedding DJing business not for that scene. They got in it for the reception scene to be like just the way they were dressed. I'm like, can you guys like have outfits that would maybe dually can like make sense in both settings? This guy just looked like he's ready to fucking party. Like, yeah, say I do so I can bump some goddamn chubby checkers. And then not to mention, like, I can't even explain. Like, you ever have a friend grab the auxiliary cord and for like 10 minutes you're like, are you okay? Like, what are you doing? Between changing songs and then like literally terrible songs, the intros to like the wedding part, you're like, I'm sorry. Like, and we have all seen things where you're like, I don't do that, but I know you're not doing it right. We all have seen professions where, and this was, it's just like, okay, you're the professional apparently, but I don't think you're good. And I'm just going to throw that out there. Dude, just like, he was like trying to be a hype man, but he couldn't. He didn't have the balls to be that wedding hype man. You're just like, fuck. It was uncomfortable, to say the least. And I don't think it was good because the groom, it was like a friend. And I think they did a favor. And this is where people pay somebody over it being a favor. Pay your, like, nothing against friend referrals and all this shit. But it's like, never, fucking never have somebody do something for you and then be like, oh, it's good, don't worry about it. No, why? Because you can never, like, in the instance of, say I was like, I was going to hire somebody to paint my apartment, but my buddy knows someone. He said he'll do it for free, not worry. You can't, the money is not all bad. Money gives you leverage to be like, I'm going to put this behind my back and not give it to you till you fucking paint my apartment, you dumbass. What are you doing? And this is assuming they fucked up along the way. But, like, for me, if that was my wedding, like, I guess you can see why you'd be like, oh, they're just playing music. No. You want somebody, this isn't a grad party that, you're doing in your backyard. Money would have allowed them to go up there, grab the guy by the back of the neck and go, I don't know what the fuck you're doing right now, but this is my day. And if you're going to keep fucking around on your piece of shit MacBook Air and play your Spotify playlist, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. So I recommend you get into the hype announcements. Let's stop getting nervous. Play songs the whole way through. We don't skip it. Nobody skips at weddings. This isn't a car ride to a bar and and you forgot that wasn't the song you were thinking of, all right? But as a friend, you can't do that. They can be like, fuck you, am I getting fucking paid for this shit? Suck my dick. Now you're in a weird place, all right? This is called negotiating masterclass. Not even negotiating. You guys ever see that fucking ad for the negotiating masterclass? You're like, who wants that? Who the fuck wants the negotiation masterclass? I'm sorry. Like, could that not be a more first off, could that be a more random goddamn masterclass? You're like, you trying to negotiate? You're like, for what? You gonna see me at the guy? I love that preview that goes, it's called the F word. Fair. And then it cuts to him being like at a park bench talking to some lady, being like, sounds fair. Is that fair to use? Like plugs it like 9 times. You're like, shut the fuck up. What's more sketchy, like the fact that that's a thing, or if you like met somebody who's like, yeah, I've been digging into that negotiation masterclass. You're like, what are you trying to convince your girlfriend to do anal? Like, what are you negotiating? If you need that masterclass, odds are the thing you're negotiating to get you don't deserve. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. I really don't think if you from your gut know what you want to say to this other party that you're trying to persuade, this fucking dude who doesn't come and put product in his hair isn't gonna teach you. He's not going to teach you. There's that one clip. That's not the fair clip. He goes, you repeat the last 3 words they say to you, and it builds rapport. And this lady's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go to lunch after this. He's like, you going to go to lunch after this? You're like, no, shut the fuck up, this fucking dweeb. I watched a thing on him, and he's probably a really nice guy. But it's like, negotiating. He seems nice, but it's also like, bro, like, whoa. What the fuck's the next one? You ever see somebody too, you're like, they take their job too serious where it changes their like demeanor in the social world? This guy, he kind of gives that off. It's like, just because your job is kind of badass doesn't mean you like walk around squinty-eyed. I don't know. You're fucking mean mugging everybody. Like, that's the guy that negotiates. What's he negotiated? I don't know. You see those shoes? I heard they're free. What the fuck would I want to negotiate? Let's be perfectly honest. I don't even know. Like, the only thing that comes to my mind is, like, what are you going to negotiate for a raise? I love things like this because if you went in there with your boss and did some of that stuff, he just shuts the first 2 techniques down and you're just like, why are you in here? Why am I in here? Yeah, I just said, why the fuck are you in here? The fuck am I in here because I think it's fair. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting my time? Am I wasting your time? It just turns into that scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Am I wasting your time? Came in here for a raise. Yeah, I'm not going to give you a raise. You're not? No, you're literally the worst employee ever. You eat like a savage. You don't know how to crumple up Taco Bell wrappers. I've seen it. There's spillage in the break room. And you spell words terribly. And you claim it's because you're 33 and you're done learning. Why do I want to give a raise to somebody who's done learning? And your mother's a spinster. You got that spinster mother, don't you, Chymbor? She just hasn't found the right guy yet. She hasn't found the right guy to come out to Bruno Mars to. Now lay off her fucking... I kind of wish people talk like that, so. There's going to be movies. How come they talked like... All those like movies from the 20s, they had just such... here's insert big word here, but... They just had a lot of like oomph in their words. Like they're always trying to fucking. What are you talking about? Like they're always like, what is that? What is that? That I'm like, what's that demeanor I'm doing right now? You gotta let it fucking. They're all like, look, we're about to fight somebody. You trying to get a drink later? What do you mean trying to get a drink? They're always like fucking getting at each other. What is that? That's like what you can respect with that generation. Unlike us, we're all getting fucking offended at goddamn everything. Ooh. People be getting in trouble for what they say in 2021, dude. I do not. Imagine being in a time machine. Everyone's like, we should get a time machine. I'm like, why? Jesus Christ. People are getting in trouble for what they said 5 years ago. You want to go 20 years in the future? You're going to walk off that thing like, what's up, man? The fuck you call me? Man? This guy called me the gender. Get him. Just get arrested. You're like, what the fuck did I get arrested for? Just ask me a question. Can't wait till questions become offensive. What, do you think I don't know the answer? That wouldn't make sense. What, do you think I knew the answer? What am I, some know-it-all? That's not funny. Ain't got any beautiful eyes. Boom, 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 boom. I think on one hand I can count. That's a backwards way to say it. Hands down, there's probably, like 3 weddings I've been to where the food was pretty good. Not that the other ones were bad, but let's be honest. You've all been to weddings where you're like, this kitchen cannot handle that. Ooh, this kitchen had trouble. That's not good. Just go back there. Some guy's just like, I took the cooking masterclass. I thought I could cook for a wedding. I don't know together. Sorry, my eyes watering. Enough of Chris Voss. Master the art of negotiation. Like, can we just play the ones where he didn't get it? And he's just like, come on, man, I'm fucking getting filmed. Getting filmed, man. I'm trying to fucking land this masterclass. What are the worst masterclasses? I think they're all just cooking. Masterclass. I'm sorry, like Tony Hawk. Guys, can we just chalk up that some things you can't learn like via a class? It's a workshop. For what? Heart surgery. Why are you taking a heart surgery workshop? Because I want to learn how to surgically do things to hearts. When did RuPaul stop dressing up? Like, that's not me being rude. That's apparently RuPaul. RuPaul be, look at this guy, Steve Jobs and his man. Who are these people? Let's browse. Sports and games. Some of these you're just like, I just don't have the capabilities. Neil deGrasse Tyson teaches. Okay, Chris Hadfield teaches space exploration. I'm just going to, guys, you know, he's going to teach you how to man a rocket. Astronaut training. Orbital mechanics. Who the fuck would honestly watch that? Like, can we reach out to these masterclass people and be like, hey, can you have more professions that it makes 0 sense to teach via class? We're going to get a new masterclass. It's called How to Give Birth, and it's just for dudes. And it has to do with babies coming out of your vaginas. They're like, why am I learning this? Because you're going to give birth one day. Where the fuck is that RuPaul one? Is that... Hold on, we got to find this shit. Or am I just assuming... There, yeah, I'm right. And this isn't me being... I thought RuPaul always did... I thought RuPaul always dressed up. That's RuPaul. That's RuPaul. That's crazy. Dude, that's fucking nuts. Good job. I'm not gonna even fuck. I was gonna say what's her real name, but I'm like, her. See, look at me. I'm just fucking. See how goddamn cultured I am. What if her real name's just Paul? What's your drag name? Paul? She's trying to think of something called starting with an R. Oh. I don't give. People get all freaked out. Why do people care about things that they can't control? Why is that? What about this group of people or them doing? Why the fuck do you care? It just blows my mind. This sense of control strangers want to have over other strangers, where you're like, why do you give a fuck? Like when you see a dude dressed up like a woman, I'm just like, I don't fucking, and not even be rude, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. That's cool. Go ahead, dress like a fucking woman. I don't know, anything. I'm like, where do you find women's clothes like that? But fuck, if anything, it's like offensive thoughts to have, but I'm just never like, you shouldn't. Go the fuck ahead. Jesus Christ. People get so fucking mad for no goddamn reason. Hey, what do I know, though? I'm a single 33-and-a-half-year-old in my apartment by myself, and I talk to my stuff. I talk to my reflection, so. All right, guys, with that being said, that is the Matty Chymbor podcast. We did not end on fireworks, but we tried. This was actually my How to Podcast in the Most Average Way Masterclass, so if you guys enjoyed it, feel free to tune in next week where I give you another lesson on how to ramble. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your spinster mother, you pieces of shit. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.